Hey gamers, I'm CyberSnake7. Hope we're all well. Back again with another video. And yes, at long last, this is going to be my Super Nintendo pickup video. My NTSC Super Nintendo pickup video to be precise. Because of course, you know, I have been collecting for the NTSC console and games for the last 10, 15 years easy. And I've done a bit of a rejig. Obviously, there's a couple of PAL there, but them are, of course, my original two games that I had when I had a PAL system. So I've had a bit of a rejig, and I've got a good 2 more shelves to put another at least 88 games in there. So yeah, there's going to be plenty more Super Nintendo in the next coming years, believe me. And I've got a fair few that I really want. Some undiscovered titles that I've never really thought or considered about buying, but I've done a bit of research recently about games, Super Nintendo of course, and there are quite a few out there that are really quite good and underrated games, so those I'll be going for. But also there's also the heavy hitters, there are a few of them unfortunately, but everything comes in time, so you know what I mean, it's just the way it is. Collecting for me lately is an enjoyable experience, and that's the way it always should be for everybody, to be fair. You shouldn't be out there to get as many games as possible as fast as you can, because you're not enjoying gaming or you're not enjoying collecting, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to do that. But anyway, enough of that. Right, so I've got another 6 games for you, and going to be a bit of a mix. Now obviously with my collecting of late, I do collect originals, of course. There's always going to be originals in here, but there are some caveats to it nowadays. I do like to pick up a few limited run games, obviously of games that I want in the collection, of course, but I don't really want to pay the over the top prices for that game, because it isn't the best game in the world, even though I really want it in the collection, sort of thing. So I do tend to lean to limited run for games like that. There are other companies that I've been looking into concerning Super Nintendo games as well, but it's just nice to have the option to be able to pick these games up at more reasonable price, still play them. I know they're not going to be the original games, but regardless, you know, I'm quite happy, and they fit into the collection okay as far as I'm concerned. But in this video, I've got obviously 2 from limited run, I've got 2 originals, and don't choke on your tea, but I've got 2 repros. Yeah, 2 repros, and when I get into why I've got them, you'll kind of understand why I've got them, because I wanted them NTSC format, and these games, neither of them come out on the NTSC format. It was either European or it was Japanese only, so technically that's why I've done what I've done. Now they're okay. The second one I'm going to show you is amazing. The repro for it is perfect. I'm well happy with it. This is the first one, so, but it is what it is, and I'm quite happy with it, because I've done a lot of trying to find the best copy available for this game, and of course being on an NTSC format, so that's why I wanted it. So anyway, let's get into the 6 games. Let's start with the repros, of course. So firstly, the first one is an RPG that I've added into the RPG set. As I say, there weren't a lot of RPGs that I wanted. Obviously I'd love my Earthbound back, which I got rid of. What a stupid mistake, but you know, that's what I'm good at, making stupid mistakes. Anyway, yeah, another RPG to the collection. Now this one, it's obviously, you can tell that it's not an original box in any way, shape or form, but it's good quality repro, good for what I need. I'm able to play the game and enjoy the game. It's got manual and everything, so I'm quite happy with it, to be fair. Now the game I'm talking about is this one, is Pteranigma. Now quality of the box, really nice and crisp. Obviously you can tell it's very dull black, so you know this is definitely a repro, which I'm not too fussed about. The print on it is pretty average, to be fair. You know, it's readable, it's not blurred in any way, shape or form, so I'm quite happy with that. Right, let's get my new tool, because I tend not to want to open boxes by like grabbing the sides. I just don't do that no more. So I'm very anal, and I do the old knife in the side of the box trick, because at least then you never get a dent in the flap. There you go. Good tip that is. Anyway, so what we get in here, we've got a sticker. That was a bit weird off the seller. Now, the manual itself, let's have a look. The manual itself is a pretty decent manual, of course. And it's the good thing about it, it's full colour. It gives you all the information you need about the characters, about the gameplay itself, about the items that you need. So, you know, I'm not going to go far wrong about knowing what to do, and there's always YouTube to find out any more things that I need to know about this game anyway. So I'm quite happy with that. So that's a decent, nice little manual. But I suppose what drawed me to this is the fact that it is an NTSC game, and it's in a nice see-through blue cartridge. Decent printed label on there as well. I'm really happy with that. It ain't too bad. But as I say, it's an NTSC format. This never come out in America. It only come out in Europe, and it only come out in Japan. So I had to get it one way or another, and for me to get it like this, nice fancy cartridge, it plays great, fully translated, it's English, you know, what more do I need? I'm quite happy with it. As I say, yes, it's a repro, and yes, I probably could, now I've got my analog NT, I could probably go down the PAL route and pick it up as a PAL game, but I don't really want that many PAL games. I'd rather stick to my NTSC collecting and add a game that should have been an NTSC game but wasn't, and add it to the collection. So that's my first one. And as I say, yes, it's an RPG, and am I going to get round to playing this? Maybe, probably when I'm 80, I don't know. But as I say, with this, it's another RPG I wanted to the collection. There's a couple more I want. The other two to this trilogy, I think I've got the other one. I think there's one more to this trilogy. But that actually did come out on an NTSC format. I can't think of the name at the top of my head. But this one weirdly didn't. But I'm happy with it. It's a decent, you know, repro as a repro. It does what it says on the tin, it plays, and I can enjoy the game for what it is. So there's game number one, and that is Pteranigma. Right, game number two. Game number two is a definite game I've been wanting for years. And I mean, I've been wanting this for years, and it's always been a Japanese exclusive, but the price has only just gone up and up and up. At the moment, I think it's probably about £1,200. And that is certainly something I'm not going to pay for. I just can't bring myself to pay that kind of money for a Japanese game, put it that way. An American game? Yeah, maybe. And that's going to come in the future. There's no two ways about that, because there are some high-end games on the NTSC format that I'm going to have to pay serious money for. But we'll come to that in a future video. So, this next game, yes, another repro, but this one is definitely the better of the two. And if this was going to be released as an NTSC format game, I'd love it to be released like it looks, because it looks a brilliant, I've never seen anything like it. It's such a great looking repro, in my mind, personally. I think it's great. And it's of course, a Spider-Man game. Now, this Spider-Man game is one of the last ones I wanted anyway. Actually, I need two more, tell a lie. No, one more. I need Separation Anxiety, and then I'll have all the Spider-Man games. But this one was obviously, as I said, never released anywhere but Japan. And the one I'm talking about, of course, is this one. The Amazing Spider-Man, Deadly Foes. Now, the artwork on that is absolutely awesome. I just love the look of the box. And if you get close, you can see, like, webbing around the crimson section of the actual cart. The artwork, the print on it is absolutely amazing. I really think this is a fantastic looking repro. Got all the, obviously, the pictures of the game itself, full English description. Now, the good thing about this is this is fully translated into English. So now I'm not only playing one of my favourite Spider-Man games that I've wanted for years, I've got it for a good price in an American box, on an American cart, fully translated in English. So what more can I ask for? But just looking at the impressions of the box itself, for me, amazing. Absolutely love the artwork and the presentation of this. It's really been put some effort into it. That's why I didn't mind getting it. As soon as I seen it, I thought, I've got to have that. But there have been some of these floating around in the last month or so, but they haven't been translated. This one, luckily, was. So I'm really happy to have this one. But anyway, there's the outer box. Really happy with that. And let's have a look on the inside. Yep. Never bend the box, never bend the flap, can't stand it. Anyway, what we got? So in here, oops, we have, of course, like it was an official game, we have all the paperwork, we have the precautions leaflet, we have advertisements, of course, and yes, we do have this, which is, of course, the Nintendo Power little leaflet. It's great that they're in there because it just feels a little bit more authentic, even though it isn't. But the best thing about it is the manual. Fantastic looking manual. Correct size, of course. So you got the webbing on the crimson section again. Inside, full colour artwork, comic style. Really, really fantastic looking, like detailed pictures, descriptions, all in English, tells you about the game, the controls, everything. So I'm not arguing with this. This is absolutely amazing. And then to top it off, of course, we have the red cartridge, and the label on this is absolutely superb. I mean, you just never tell. I mean, you could literally say that this could have been an official release like this with the red cartridge, but the artwork on the actual cart, and it's superb on the sticker. Really, really nice. So well happy to have this. And as I say, it's fully translated, and I think this cost me around £90, which, to be fair, I'm quite happy paying, because with a repro of this quality, and knowing you're never going to get this anywhere else apart from Japan, and you're going to pay £1,200 for it, £90 is a steal for me. And at least I get to play it in the American format, and of course fully translated. So well happy with that. So there you go, that's the second game, and that is Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, Deadly Foes. Real happy to have that. Right, next two are a couple of limited run games. Now I still do have a couple more to get, because there are a couple of platformers that I want, which I talked about ages ago on my last pickup video, but these two cropped up, and this RPG slash kind of side-scrolling beat 'em up kind of thing come up, and I didn't realise I was releasing this. And this is a game Retro Dad Nintendo bought years ago. He got the original, and I quite like the look of it then, but when I seen this, I thought, yeah, I'm going to give this a whirl. And this was about 70-80 quid off eBay, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to have a bit of that. And the one I'm talking about is this one, Dragon View. Now this is like an RPG, of course, but of course it's like when you're out in the world, you're seeing like through your own eyes. You're walking, you know, it's like a first-person perspective when they're playing the game. But when you actually get into the action, it's like a side-scrolling sections where you got beat up, and you got to fight whoever you come across and all that. So I just found it pretty interesting when Dave talked about this years ago. But it's a game I wanted, as I said, but I wouldn't really want to pay the big bucks for it, because it's probably about 250 quid probably nowadays. But 70 quid I'm quite happy to pay, because I know it's, you know, it's a reasonable price. It's a decent quality game for what it looks, you know what I mean. I'm happy with it. But let's have a look inside. So as with all limited run games, I'm assuming you just would get a coloured cartridge. I think I haven't even played this yet, by the way. So firstly, that's weirdly odd. Their version of a manual, it's very small and quite sleek, but still pretty good. It's still nice. At least it's a manual. You got all the typical instructions and the controls in there. Yeah, full colour, so it gives you all the details of the option screens and all the do's and don'ts and what you got to do and sort of thing. All typical RPG games, you know, so everything's in there. Well happy with that. And then of course the cartridge itself is untouched and unplayed, but it's a lime green, and they put them in these packaging weirdly, which I'm going to leave it in, but as you can see, it's a lime green. Nice little label on there, limited run on the back, so you can't distinguish it from any other cart and company sort of thing. So you know full well it's definitely a repro. Well, it's obvious with a green cart like this, but regardless, well happy. I like the coloured cards. I don't know why, it's something different in it, but yeah, well happy with that. And it's definitely an RPG I really want to give a whirl, because as I say, it's just got a different spin on it. The way it plays, the format of the game, you know, where you're walking around the world in the first person view, and then you obviously go to the side action when you come to fighting mechanics and all that. But yeah, happy with that. About 60-70 quid I think I paid for that, so I'd rather pay that than like the 250 quid, because as I say, it's a game I wanted and to add to the collection, but I didn't want to pay the money for the original. So just my way of thinking, well, at least I've got the game, so happy with that. So there's the first limited run game, and that is of course Dragon View. Now this next one, I literally, yesterday, I must have done this video about 4 times, and I kept on, my voice kept on breaking, and then on the last attempt, I literally done the whole video and realised I didn't press record on my phone, so I recorded nothing, so I just totally give up. But in the process, this game was actually still in its box, and it's been in its box for a good 8 months, so I hadn't even took it out once to look at it. But now it's unwrapped and unsealed, obviously, because I did it yesterday on a video that I didn't record. So anyway, this game I've got originally, and I did have it on PAL, and I did have it on NTSC format. I've still got it on NTSC format, should I say. I never got the Japanese variant. Now, unbeknown to me, this game had a lot of cuts in the game when it was translated over to the American and the PAL regions. Like, there was a story to it, extra levels in the game, and it just took a lot out of the game itself, because we just treated it, and as I always treated it, just a standard platform game. But obviously in Japan, the game had more of a story, more a character arc. You had, you know, as I say, extra levels and things like that. So what limited run, and I think it's I Am 8-bit, I'm not too sure who the company was, because it's been so long since I've had this in the packaging. They kind of combined the two, and they've literally combined the Japanese game with like the PAL and the NTSC variants. So instead of having the uncut version, you've got the full game now fully translated in English with the Japanese cover art. And what game am I talking about? Well, it's this one, Assault Suit Valkyrie. And this is a wicked, very, very nice collector's edition. And as you say, this is a Japanese artwork for Cybernator / Assault Suit Valkyrie. So what they did is they give the artwork of the Japanese cover to the box, and then of course they then put the full version of the Cybernator game / Assault Suit Valkyrie onto the cartridge and fully translated it. So we have now got the story, and we've got the extra levels and all the little extras that was in there. So I'm really looking forward to playing it. So I mean, I loved playing the original Cybernator, but now you've got the added story mode, you know, the story within it, and like the extra levels. It's a game I really want to put some time into, so I've never completed it. Never ever completed Cybernator / obviously Assault Suit Valkyrie. Don't know how many times I'm going to say that. But regardless, absolutely beautiful looking box art. Really, really like this. Now this does open from the front. It's got like a magnetic front, and then you open it like that, and you've just got all those funky details in there. Then you take off the slipcase, if I can get it off. There you go, that just comes off, and then in there you got your gold cartridge. Yeah, really, really love that. That is a really nice touch. That is nice gold cartridge to go with a beautiful looking label. That is crisp. That is, love it. Absolutely amazing cartridge. Really, really do like that. But as I say, not tried it yet. Now, obviously lift up the back, and behind you have the instruction manual, of course, full colour manual. And I don't think you actually get anything else in here, do you? Do you? Let's have a look. Let me have a look for us. See if we get anything else. I know we get the manual, and yeah, that's it. Just a picture of the mech itself on the back. But let's take a look at the manual while we're here. But this is more like a shiny effect, as you can see. So this is going to be a very bad fingerprint magnet, but gives you like nice full colour detail in the manual. And it'd be interesting to read this, because you can look and read about the characters this time around. and it shows you some of the levels, of course. So this is going to be an interesting game to go through again, and to obviously learn the story of the game rather than just going through it as just a progressive platformer, not knowing what really is going on. So yeah, well happy with that. And about time I opened it, so it's been sealed in the box from Limited Run for about 8 months. So I thought it was about time I took it out and showed it off, and then eventually play it. So there we go. That is the second game from Limited Run, and that is Assault Suit Valkyrie / Cybernator. Fantastic game. I was looking forward to playing that. Right, last 2 games. Now the last 2 are originals. Yes, we're on to the originals. Now these 2 games, one I've been after for a while, but I'll get to that one. But this one was just a complete random, because this game, it's such a random game to pick up. You can find it, but the prices are like so random, not too high or amazingly low. And let me say, so this one is, it's not the greatest game in the world, but it's a classic, put it that way. It's a classic. And I found this one, and I think it's probably about 80 quid. And this can give for 1.5 sometimes. It just varies. It's so stupid, the price structure on this game, but still a cracking little title. Something, you know, it's just a classic arcade game. A classic arcade game. It's been on many formats for many systems, of course, but seeing this, I thought, yeah, I gotta grab it. And that is Arkanoid, Do It Again. And we've all played Arkanoid. I remember playing it personally. My first time was on the Commodore 64. Absolutely classic game. But obviously, beautiful condition. Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way. Really, really nice condition of the box. And as I say, no dinks on this one at all, to be fair. No, I'm quite pleased with that. That is a really, really nice condition for the money I paid for that. So well happy now with that. Right, let's have a look inside, shall we? Over the years, I do get more anal with my Super Nintendo. It's crazy, honestly. Not only do I want perfection, but now I wouldn't even open a box without a knife. Yeah, don't ask. Anyway, what we got here? So we've got the precautions leaflet, as per usual. We do have the Nintendo Power leaflet, the Nintendo Power leaflet. We do have a poster. That'd be interesting. So look at the poster. It's a Nintendo Power poster, of course. Good old Nintendo Power. There we go. And then we've got on the back, we've got a bit of Star Fox. That's pretty cool. It's always nice to have the posters in with them. It obviously adds to it, to be fair. But yeah, love that. Excellent. And then last but not least, we got the manual. And that is in really beautiful, crisp condition. Generic, but you can see you can use the mouse and the joypad with this one, which is pretty cool. So I've got a mouse on the Mario Paint. But yeah, you can shows you all the different ways you can play the game and the control systems and all that. Nothing major. If you get stuck, you can always phone the Nintendo hotline. Be interested to try that, wouldn't you? But somehow I don't think it'd work. But anyway, last but not least, let's talk about this, which is the cartridge. And the cartridge is in, as per usual, immaculate condition. The label is pristine, lovely and shiny. Back's beautiful, no discoloration. Now, obviously, with all originals, I always strip them down, take them apart, clean them before that's the first thing I do. Make sure all the condition of the box is correct and everything's in there, and then I always clean the cartridges before I apply them. 100% have to do that. But yeah, well happy with that. Very, very good. And another nice addition to add it to the collection. Classic arcade game. There are a few arcade compilations there. There's one, I think the Midway one. I really wouldn't mind that one because there's some cracking titles on there, arcade titles. But yeah, so very happy with that. Another nice little addition to the official Super Nintendo collection, and that is of course this one, which I'm really happy with. Shut that up nicely. And that is Arkanoid. Do It Again. It's a bit of a crazy name, but regardless, absolutely fantastic game. Absolutely love it. There you go, Arkanoid. Right, last but not least, we've got this game. Now, this game I've been on the hunt for a good couple of years. I mean, literally, I've just like, it's one of these games that I've always wanted to put in the collection, but I've just never ever got around to buying it. Or if I found it, it's always been, the box has been smashed or real bad condition, or they're asking too much for it. It's one of these games. It's a one-on-one fighter, and I didn't realise at first, I thought this was an American exclusive, but it's not, because it did come out on the PAL regions as well, apparently. I'm not too sure about the Japanese regions, but I finally took the plunge on this one, and this still isn't to my standards. Still hasn't got the Cybersnake approved seal of quality on there, to be fair, but I can live with it, because there is a few things, and at the end of the day, the way I look at it is, yeah, you got a few things, but it just adds that authenticity to it. So that's the way I'm looking at it. But the game I'm talking about is, of course, Weapon Lord, and this is a pretty decent in shape box. The only thing I'm worried about there, see that little thing in the corner, but you know, I can't really say much, because as I say, I've been looking for this game for so long and trying to find it in the best condition possible. This one come up, and I think this was about 150 quid. It weren't cheap, and I thought, yeah, I got to take the plunge now or never, because I want this game, and I really need it in the collection. And this one, to be fair, is probably one of the better ones that I've seen in a while. So I took the plunge, and now I have it, Weapon Lord. So the box, I'd give the box a good probably 8 out of 10, to be fair. So I'm quite happy with that. So let's have a look inside. Right, so we have nothing much in this one, just the manual, but it's very clean, looked after, no wrinkles, no fingerprints, which is pretty cool. And inside you got nice full colour manual, some cool artwork there of some characters that you fight. As I say, it's a one-on-one fighting game. I've heard this isn't the easiest fighting game in the world to play, but it's something I've always wanted to play and always try. And as I say, I've been waiting so long to try and find it in the best condition that I can find it at the best price. So regardless of that, and let's have a look at the cartridge. Cartridge is, of course, perfection. Beautiful looking shiny label on there. Clean, no discoloration, and yet all the pins and the insides thoroughly cleaned as per usual. Most important, but yeah, well happy with that. Very, very happy. But there you go. That's it. That is Weapon Lord. Not yet played it. Silly thing to say, but it's true. But well, looking forward to that. I'm very, very happy to actually add it to the collection at last. Believe me, really, really am. So, there is the final game of my Super Nintendo pickups, and that is the one and only Weapon Lord. There you go. Fantastic. Well, happy with that. So, another 6 decent games added to the Super Nintendo collection. As I say, I got plenty of room now. I'm going to be adding some more. I think the one I really want to get my hands on now is yet another limited run game, and that is, of course, the new version of Doom, which to be fair, let's pull this one out. I got this one many moons ago, and I absolutely hate it. I could not get my head around it, because it just played awful for me. It just didn't play right. So they've now brought a new variant out with a new FX chip in it to speed things up, make it look and play better. And I love it that the fact they brought a pad out with the rumble feature, so you can play Doom with the rumble pad for the Super Nintendo. So that is definitely on the cards. I'm definitely going to be picking that up. But that's a good few months away, unfortunately. Let's slide that one back in. So that's another story, and that's another video. So anyway, guys, next time you come, I'll probably have a bit of lighting in here, because I thought it's a bit dark, so I do need a bit of lighting in there just to show off them games. And it looked pretty sweet then. But yeah, I've got some nice new titles to add to the collection. I might go through the collection again and give you an update and to show you all the games that I've got in the collection. I've done that for a couple of years. I used to love doing that every 1 or 2 years, just giving you an update and showing you what games I've got in the collection. And I think I just might do that again. So I've got the incentive to do it now. I've talked about Super Nintendo, so I need to do it. So yeah, look out for that video in the near future. I'll try and give you an update. I will try not to be so long in the next Nintendo video. I do really want to try and concentrate a lot more on cartridge based rather than disc based nowadays. I don't know, that's just the way I feel. I know I'm collecting for the Neo Geo CD. That's an exception. And if I can pick up the odd Neo Geo card, all the better, of course. But where my disc stuff is, my PlayStation, I've still got a lot to show, so I can go through that, my PlayStation pickups in a future video. But I think I'm just really leaning more towards the cartridge base nowadays, and especially getting my new analog for the I can't think what it's called now, the Sega, anyway, the Mega Drive analog basically. I want to get some cartridges. I want some, you know, like Genesis cartridges in the collection, and Genesis games in the collection. So that's where I'm heading for, just to stick to more cartridge based for the time being anyway. But yes, the Super Nintendo needs some love, and I need to get some more games in there and add to this collection, because I do want to try and get close to saying that I've got everything I need, and I'm still not there yet. I've got a fair few to go, and I've got to find the funds to find it and to fund it basically, because it's not going to be a cheap ride, unfortunately. But regardless, anywho, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and all my new additions to the Super Nintendo collection. This is an ongoing thing, always will be, and always enjoyed it. And all I want to do now is sit down and play them. I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please do leave a comment. Please do leave a thumbs up. And as per usual, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing, and remember, always keep watching. All the best.